Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a world where the rustle of leaves might be a fairy's laugh. Picture a sunbeam as the pathway for tiny winged beings. This is the enchanting realm of fairies woven into our folklore and dreams. Fairies, creatures of magic and mischief, have captivated us for centuries. They dance in the shadows, whispering secrets on the wind. Their world is a blend of wonder and warning, where wishes come true with a twist. From Ireland's hills to enchanted forests, fairy tales endure. These stories, told in hushed tones, speak of encounters with ethereal beings. But what are fairies, really? Are they figments of imagination or echoes of something ancient and real? This essay explores fairy lore, their origins, forms and presence in our consciousness. We'll journey through time and cultures, unearthing the roots of these beings. Prepare to be spellbound as we venture into the realm of the Fae. Our journey takes us from whispering shadows to modern interpretations. Discover that fairies' allure lies in the mirror they hold to our hopes, fears, and dreams. Fairies occupy a unique space in our collective imagination, existing somewhere between what we perceive as real and the boundless realms of fantasy. They are creatures of myth and folklore, yet their presence resonates deeply within us. Perhaps it's their connection to nature, their ability to embody the untamed beauty and unpredictable power of the natural world that makes them so compelling. Or maybe it's their capricious nature, the way they embody both the light and the shadow, the joy and the sorrow that we recognize in ourselves. Fairies are not always benevolent creatures of light. They can be mischievous, even dangerous, reflecting the duality that exists within our own hearts. This exploration of fairies is an exploration of ourselves, of the stories we tell to make sense of the world around us. It's a journey into the heart of storytelling itself, where ancient myths and modern interpretations intertwine. We'll delve into the historical significance of fairies, examining how their portrayal has evolved over time, reflecting changing cultural attitudes towards nature, magic, and the unknown. From fearsome creatures to be appeased to whimsical sprites of childhood dreams, fairies have worn many faces throughout history. In many cultures, fairies are deeply intertwined with the natural world. They are often depicted as guardians of forests, protectors of springs and wells, and keepers of ancient, sacred places. Their very existence seems to be woven from the fabric of nature itself, their magic echoing the rhythms of the earth. This intrinsic connection to nature speaks to a time when humans lived in closer harmony with the environment, when the boundaries between the human world and the natural world were more fluid. Fairies, in a sense, embody that ancient connection, reminding us of the magic and mystery that still reside in the untamed corners of our world. They remind us to tread lightly upon the earth, to respect the delicate balance of nature, and to listen to the whispers of the wind, for they may carry messages from the Fae. Their stories often serve as cautionary tales, reminding us of the consequences of disrespecting nature or transgressing against the old ways. But they also offer a glimmer of hope, suggesting that if we approach the natural world with humility and reverence, we might just catch a glimpse of its hidden magic. The lore of fairies is as rich and varied as the cultures from which it sprang. From the mischievous sprites of Celtic mythology to the ethereal beings of Japanese folklore, fairies have captured imaginations across the globe. Their stories have been passed down through generations, evolving and adapting with each retelling, yet always retaining a core of wonder and enchantment. These stories offer a glimpse into the hearts and minds of our ancestors, revealing their beliefs, fears, and hopes. They teach us about the values and traditions of different cultures, and they remind us of the universal power of storytelling. Fairy tales, in particular, have played a significant role in shaping our understanding of these magical beings. From the Brothers Grimm to Hans Christian Andersen, authors throughout history have drawn inspiration from the rich tapestry of fairy lore, weaving tales that continue to captivate readers of all ages. These stories have become embedded in our cultural consciousness, influencing literature, art, music, and even our dreams. The enduring appeal of fairy tales lies not only in their fantastical elements, but also in their ability to explore universal themes of love, loss, courage, and the battle between good and evil. Section 5. A Journey into Enchantment. This essay is an invitation to embark on a journey into the enchanting realm of fairies. Together we'll delve into the heart of fairy lore, exploring its origins, its evolution, and its enduring impact on our world. We'll encounter a diverse cast of characters, from mischievous pixies and wise old tree spirits to fearsome fairies and benevolent queens. We'll uncover the hidden meanings behind their stories, and we'll discover how these ancient beings continue to resonate in our modern world. So open your mind to the impossible. Embrace the magic that lies just beyond the veil of the everyday, and join us as we venture into the realm of fairies. Prepare to be enchanted. Section 1. Echoes of Ancient Belief. The origins of fairies are shrouded in the mists of time, their roots tangled in the ancient beliefs and superstitions of cultures across the globe. Long before written history, humans sought explanations for the unexplainable, weaving tales of spirits and supernatural beings that inhabited the world around them. Fairies, it seems, emerged from this primal need to make sense of the unknown, to populate the shadows with beings both wondrous and terrifying. Were they once deities of old, their powers fading as new gods rose to prominence? Or perhaps remnants of ancient tribes, driven into hiding by invading forces, their existence whispered in hushed tones by those who remembered? The answers, like the fairies themselves, remain elusive, dancing just beyond the reach of certainty. What we do know is that belief in fairies, or beings very much like them, can be found in cultures separated by vast oceans and centuries of history. From the sylphs and gnomes of European folklore to the yokai of Japan, there exists a common thread, a shared belief in a realm where magic intertwines with reality, where the natural world teems with unseen forces. This widespread belief suggests something deeper at play, something rooted in the shared human experience. Perhaps it's the recognition of a certain magic inherent in the world around us, a sense of wonder and mystery that transcends cultural boundaries. Or perhaps it's the need to believe in something beyond ourselves, something ethereal and enchanting that offers solace and escape from the mundane. Section 2. Celtic Twilights and Fairy Hills. Nowhere is the lore of fairies more deeply ingrained than in the Celtic lands of Ireland, Scotland, Wales and Brittany. Here, amidst rolling green hills and ancient stone circles, tales of the Fae are woven into the very fabric of the landscape and the collective memory of the people. It's said that the fairies, or Tuatha De Danann as they are known in Irish mythology, were once a powerful race of supernatural beings who ruled over Ireland, but when defeated by the invading Milesians, they were forced to retreat into the other world, a realm existing alongside our own, accessible through ancient burial mounds, sacred wells, and the twilight spaces between day and night. These ancient mounds, known as fairy forts or raths, are still regarded with a mixture of awe and trepidation. To disturb a fairy fort is to risk incurring the wrath of the Fae, for they are fiercely protective of their dwelling places. Stories abound of farmers who, tempted by fertile land, dared to plough up a fairy fort, only to suffer misfortune, illness, or even death as a result. Even today, in our modern age of reason and technology, these ancient beliefs persist, a testament to the enduring power of the fairy faith. Roads are diverted, construction projects halted, all to avoid disturbing a suspected fairy fort. For some things, it seems, are best left undisturbed. Section 3. Whispers from the East. While the Celtic nations may be synonymous with fairies, the belief in supernatural beings inhabiting the natural world is by no means exclusive to Europe. In Japan, for instance, a rich tapestry of folklore speaks of yokai, a diverse class of supernatural entities that range from mischievous tricksters to fearsome demons. Among these, yokai are creatures that bear a striking resemblance to the fairies of Western tradition. The kappa, for example, are water spirits known for their love of cucumbers and their tendency to drag unsuspecting humans to watery graves. Similarly, the zashiki warashi are childlike spirits believed to bring good fortune to the homes they inhabit. These examples, drawn from just one corner of the globe, illustrate the universality of the fairy belief. It seems that wherever humans have lived in close proximity to nature, they have sensed the presence of unseen forces, populating the shadows with beings both wondrous and terrifying. These beings, whether called fairies, yokai, or by some other name, serve as a reminder that our world is full of mysteries and that some things, perhaps, are best left unexplained. Section 4. Between Heaven and Earth. One of the enduring questions surrounding fairies is their place in the cosmic order. Are they simply spirits of nature bound to the physical world, or do they occupy a more ethereal plane, existing somewhere between heaven and earth? The answer, as with many things related to the Fae, is shrouded in mystery and ambiguity. In some traditions, fairies are depicted as fallen angels, cast out of heaven for their transgressions but deemed not wicked enough to be condemned to hell. They inhabit a liminal space, neither wholly good nor wholly evil, capable of both great kindness and terrible cruelty. This duality is reflected in the often contradictory nature of fairy lore. Fairies can be benevolent protectors of nature, rewarding those who honor the old ways with good fortune and blessings. Yet they can just as easily be vengeful tricksters, quick to anger and unforgiving to those who break their taboos. This unpredictable nature is part of what makes fairies so endlessly fascinating. They defy easy categorization, existing in a realm beyond human morality and understanding. To encounter a fairy is to step into a world where the rules of logic and reason no longer apply, where anything is possible, and where the line between reality and fantasy blurs. Section 5. Guardians of Morality and Mischief. Fairy tales often serve as cautionary tales, warning of the dangers of straying from the path of righteousness or disrespecting the natural world. The fairies in these stories often act as enforcers of a moral code, punishing the greedy, the prideful, and the cruel, while rewarding the kind, the humble, and the true of heart. Consider the tale of Rumpelstiltskin, where a miller's daughter is forced to spin straw into gold for the king, or face dire consequences. The impish Rumpelstiltskin offers his assistance, but at a terrible price, her firstborn child. This tale can be interpreted as a warning against greed and the dangers of making promises one cannot keep. The fairies in this instance represent the consequences of our actions, the karmic forces that ensure balance is restored even if it comes at a cost. Yet while fairies can be harsh judges, they can also be agents of redemption. In many tales, they offer aid to those in need, providing guidance, magical objects, or even direct intervention to help the protagonist overcome obstacles and achieve their goals. This suggests that while the Fae may be quick to punish wrongdoing, they are also capable of forgiveness and compassion, offering a glimmer of hope even in the darkest of times. The world of fairies is not a monolithic one. Just as human societies encompass a vast spectrum of individuals with unique personalities and motivations, so too does the realm of the Fae teem with a diverse array of beings, each with its own distinct characteristics, powers and proclivities. To truly understand the enchantment of fairies, we must venture beyond the generalized image of winged sprites and delve into the rich tapestry of fairy folk that populate their magical realm. Imagine, if you will, a bustling marketplace hidden deep within an ancient forest. Here, amidst towering trees draped in moss and bathed in dappled sunlight, fairies of all shapes and sizes gather to barter, gossip and share stories. Tiny sprites with gossamer wings flit through the air, their laughter like the tinkling of bells, while stately figures with an air of ancient wisdom observe the scene with knowing eyes. There are mischievous pixies playing pranks on unsuspecting passers-by, their eyes twinkling with mischief. Stately elves, guardians of the forest's secrets, move with an air of quiet grace. And in the shadows, perhaps a glimpse of something darker, a creature of the night, with eyes that gleam like hot coals. This is the true diversity of the Fae, a realm where beauty and danger, whimsy and menace exist in delicate balance. To navigate this world, one must tread carefully, for the Fae are not easily categorized and their motives are often shrouded in mystery. In many fairy traditions, the Fae are divided into two distinct courts, the Seelie Court and the Unseelie Court. The Seelie Court, often associated with light, warmth and growth, is comprised of fairies who are generally benevolent towards humans, though their favours are not always easily won. These are the fairies of spring and summer, of blooming flowers and sun-dappled glades. They delight in music, dance and celebration, and their laughter is said to be as sweet as birdsong. They are drawn to beauty in all its forms, and they are known to reward those who show kindness to nature and respect for the old ways. But beware, for the Seelie Court, while generally well-intentioned, are not without their own sense of justice. Cross them, and you may find yourself on the receiving end of a mischievous prank or a spell that leaves you bewildered and disoriented. They are creatures of emotion, quick to anger and easily swayed by flattery. To win their favour, one must approach them with humility, respect, and a genuine appreciation for the beauty and wonder of the natural world. But tread carefully, for even the most light-hearted of the Seelie Court can be unpredictable, and what begins as a playful prank can quickly escalate into something more serious if their trust is betrayed. The Unseelie Court evokes images of darkness, cold and decay. These are the fairies of autumn and winter, of storms and shadows, inspiring both awe and fear. Ruled by their passions, their magic is as unpredictable and dangerous as a winter storm. They are creatures of instinct and desire, taking what they want without regard for consequence. To encounter a member of the Unseelie Court is to step into a realm of primal power. They are often depicted as fearsome warriors, skilled in magic and wielding weapons forged in the heart of volcanoes. Not all fairies align with the Seelie or Unseelie courts. Some prefer solitude, dwelling in remote corners of the world. These solitary figures often possess unique powers and knowledge. Take the brownies of Scottish folklore, helpful creatures inhabiting homes and farmsteads, but beware, for brownies are easily offended and can turn vengeful. Then there are shapeshifters like the Puka of Celtic mythology, delighting in playing tricks on travellers. These figures add complexity and intrigue to the world of fairies, reminding us of their mysterious and unpredictable nature. Encounters with fairies are rare and fleeting. The Fae are masters of illusion, adept at concealing themselves from human eyes. They exist just beyond our perception, glimpsed in shadows and felt in sudden chills. Subtle signs often dismissed as tricks of the light, maybe glimpses into the hidden realm of the Fae. So the next time you're in a place of natural beauty, pause and look for the subtle signs that betray their presence. Fairy tales hold a unique place in the human experience. They are more than just children's stories. They are repositories of cultural wisdom and ancient beliefs. Fairies, with their unpredictable nature and otherworldly powers, often lie at the heart of these tales. These stories served as entertainment and played a vital role in shaping cultural identity. From enchanted forests to bustling marketplaces, fairy tales have woven their magic across cultures and history. Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm's collection of folk tales helped shape our modern understanding of the genre. The Grimm's original tales were often dark and unflinching, filled with violence and supernatural horrors. Fairies in their hands were capricious and cruel, adding unpredictability and danger to the narratives. Tales like Rumpelstiltskin and the Juniper Tree remind us that the world of fairies is not always safe or predictable. It is a realm where magic can be both a blessing and a curse, and the consequences of our actions can be profound. Hans Christian Andersen brought a different sensibility to fairy tales, blending enchantment and melancholy. Andersen's fairies often possessed a depth of emotion and a yearning for connection. His stories explored complex themes of love, loss, loneliness, and the search for belonging. Tales like The Little Mermaid and The Ugly Duckling reflect Andersen's empathy for outsiders. Despite the sadness in his tales, Andersen never lost sight of hope and the importance of dreams. His legacy is a testament to the enduring power of fairy tales to explore the full spectrum of human emotion. Fairies have graced the stages of theatres and illuminated the silver screen. From lavish ballets to animated classics, their stories resonate with each new generation. Tchaikovsky's ballet showcases the enchanting power of fairies on stage. Walt Disney's Further cemented the place of fairies in popular culture. Tinker Bell became an iconic figure, embodying both mischievous and helpful nature. Fairies have left an indelible mark on performance art, captivating audiences with their timeless stories. Their continued presence on stage and screen is a testament to their enduring appeal. Fairy tales enchant, terrify, and teach us about ourselves and the world. Fairies serve as potent symbols, representing untamed forces of nature and the capriciousness of fate. The power of fairy tales lies in their ability to entertain and teach valuable life lessons. They remind us that courage is facing our fears and that kindness and love are transformative. Embrace the magic within fairy tales, for they hold the power to transport and teach us. The allure of fairies has not dimmed in the digital age. These beings have proven adaptable, capturing our imaginations in films, novels, and video games. Fairies offer a portal to a realm of wonder and enchantment, reminding us of the impossible. Modern fairies are complex figures, reflecting the complexities of our world. They can be warriors for justice, ethereal beings yearning for connection, or tricksters challenging norms. This evolution reflects the enduring power of mythology to adapt and evolve. The visual representation of fairies has transformed dramatically. Today, fairies are as diverse as the artists who imagine them. In film and television, we see whimsical fairies and darker, more complex fae creatures. Video games offer immersive ways to interact with these magical beings. Even in fashion, fairy imagery has taken on new life, expressing individuality and a connection to nature. This trend reflects a desire for whimsy in an increasingly digital world. While modern interpretations of fairies often emphasize their beauty, grace, and enchanting powers, there's a growing movement to reclaim the darker, more unsettling aspects of fairy lore. This movement, often fueled by a desire for more complex and nuanced representations of these magical beings, recognizes that the Fae are not simply benevolent sprites, but creatures of immense power, capable of both great kindness and terrible cruelty. Authors like Holly Black and Cassandra Clare have embraced this darker side of fairy lore, crafting narratives that explore the Fae's capacity for deception, manipulation, and even violence. In these stories, fairies are not always trustworthy allies. They are complex beings with their own motivations, desires, and moral codes, often at odds with those of humanity. This exploration of the Fae's darker side is not simply a matter of making them more edgy or appealing to a modern audience. It's about acknowledging the inherent duality of these creatures, their capacity for both wonder and terror, and recognizing that true magic, like true power, is rarely without consequence. By embracing the Fae's darker side, we gain a more nuanced understanding of these magical beings and their place in our collective imagination. We are reminded that the world of fairies is not always a safe or predictable one, and that true enchantment often lies in the shadows where beauty and danger, light and darkness exist in delicate balance. Modern fairy tales reflect the anxieties and desires of the 21st century, much like their ancient counterparts. Common themes include environmental destruction, social isolation, and rapid technological advancement. Urban fantasy highlights a longing for enchantment in our tech-driven lives. Fairies in these tales symbolize nature, struggling against urbanization and pollution. Their plight reflects our concerns about climate change and biodiversity loss. Even in cities, nature persists, reminding us to cherish and protect it. In an age of instant information, it's remarkable that fairies still captivate us. What is it about these magical beings that resonates so deeply within us? Perhaps it's their embodiment of the untamed beauty and unpredictable power of the natural world. Or maybe it's their capricious nature, reflecting the duality within our own hearts. Fairies offer a portal to the realm of the impossible, a reminder that magic and wonder still exist. They allow us to tap into a primal part of ourselves where anything is possible. Ultimately, fairies endure because we need their magic and mischief. The world is a far stranger and more wondrous place than we often give it credit for. As we close our journey into the enchanting realm of fairies, we find ourselves at a beginning. The whispers on the wind, the shadows dancing, these linger. The magic of fairies leaves its mark on our imagination. We have delved into ancient lore and traced the footsteps of the Fae. From Ireland's green hills to shadowy forests, their image evolves. Fairies embody our deepest longings and fears. They remind us the world is full of endless possibilities, where a rustling leaf might just be a fairy's laugh. And the most extraordinary adventures begin when we believe. So step outside, let the breeze whisper secrets against your skin. Look for the glint of mischief in a sunbeam, the echo of laughter in a babbling brook. The world is still filled with magic if you know where to look. Keep a place in your heart for the impossible, for the whisper of silk on moonlight, the glint of an eye in a shadowed glade. These are not just stories. They are echoes of something ancient and true, a reminder that the world is far richer, far stranger, and far more magical than we often allow ourselves to believe. And who knows, perhaps if we hold on to that belief, if we keep a place in our hearts for the Fae, we might just catch a glimpse of their magic ourselves. We might find ourselves dancing in moonlit glades, sharing secrets with the trees, our laughter echoing with the music of the spheres. For in the end, the most enchanting thing about fairies is not their magic, but ours. It's the magic that resides within each of us, the capacity for wonder, for belief, and for the kind of wild, untamed joy that can transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. So go forth and let your own story begin.